name is Dr. Alistair Hewitt. Due to the nature of my promotion, I have been temporarily discorporated and will have to use a speech-to-text interface again. If you are seeing this, then you will have level 3 clearance or higher. If you don't, then you will be eligible for immediate termination. You have been warned. Today we will be looking at SCP-1936 Daleport. Item number, SCP-1936. Object Class, Euclid.
Special Containment Procedures.
SCP-1936 is to be contained behind a 2-meter electrical fence, which is to be patrolled by security elements. The area contained is roughly circular, 1 kilometer in diameter. Security cameras are to be installed to cover areas not currently being patrolled. Expeditions into SCP-1936 are to be escorted by an armed element as specified by Area 37 Security Director. Personnel are not to enter spatially anomalous locations without specific authorization, with the conditions of such authorization dependent on recent anomalous activity within SCP-1936. Area 37 is to be set up on the outskirts of the town to support these operations and to provide facilities for the initial testing and classification of objects recovered from SCP-1936. Once classified, these objects are to be sent to the appropriate site for long-term storage and study. Dead biological samples recovered from SCP-1936 are to be kept under strict quarantine and taken to Area 37. Summary incineration may be performed if the samples are deemed hazardous. In the event that any live biological samples are found in SCP-1936, investigating personnel are to remove themselves from the area and Mobile Task Force ETA-29 Mad Mountaineers are to be sent in to recover and bring it into containment. Description: SCP-1936 is the New England town of Daleport. In the year 1997, the town fell victim to what is presumed to be a highly destructive event or a series of highly destructive events over the course of several days. During this time, the Foundation was unable to enter the town or observe any event that occurred therein due to the presence of SCP-1936-1, a gaseous area centered on Daleport that covered the whole town. For further information, see Attempted Expedition 1936. This anomaly is no longer present at SCP-1936, having dissipated a week and a half after its appearance. Dimensions of the remaining buildings have become significantly altered from the original plans, and a large number of them have become topologically inconsistent. Investigations report spatial anomalies, including rooms that become smaller when they are entered, eventually preventing the occupants from moving. Doors that lead to different points at different times of the day, and corridors that, despite leading to only one location, also lead to several different locations. No survivors from the anomalous events which affected Daleport have been found within the town proper, but the remains of a large number of Daleport citizens have been recovered. Cause of death varies, but it appears that a large number committed suicide. In many cases, the remains of these citizens demonstrate anomalous properties, presumed to be a result of the anomalous event. Some of these remains have included a smear of entrails and viscera capable of picking up audio-radio transmissions from up to 6 miles away. Sound is created through vibration of tissues. Subject was found with a small plant that gave out a small constant flame. A torso embedded in a wall. Slight movement of the torso was visible when investigating personnel spoke. Blood continually manifests 15 centimeters above the torso. The body of an older male with both eyes gouged out. A steady stream of ashes pours from the body's eye sockets, nose, mouth and ears without any apparent source. Several human corpses discovered in a row on the main street. Flesh, skin and bone had been removed from a circular portion of their foreheads. Skin and brain tissue surrounding the wound had undergone severe charring. At 19:42 each day, several floating torsos manifest outside the Johnson Public Library, simulating the motions of running, heading southwest along Market Road. 3 minutes after manifesting, the torsos attempt to leave the road and fade out. The body of a young female that floats steadily upwards when subject to any applied force, regardless of the force's direction. Due to the unknown status of Daleport's residents, manned and unmanned expeditions were made into SCP-1936-1 to determine the safety of entering SCP-1936-1, ascertain the nature of SCP-1936-1 and its effect, and to facilitate possible recovery of civilians. These expeditions took place over the course of several days as resources arrived on location. Unmanned Ground Expedition. Procedure. Following the detainment of relevant witnesses and the establishment of a containment perimeter, an unmanned ground vehicle was sent into SCP-1936-1. UGV-1 was equipped with atmospheric sampling sensors, closed and open-circuit biological samples, including several Radis norvegicus instances. Video and audio recording equipment were also included. Results: UGV-1 found SCP-1936-1 to be composed of sulfur, nitrogen and carbon oxides. The concentration was found to be at a level where irritation occurs, but would not present a lethal hazard. Biological samples were unaffected in any anomalous manner. Video recordings showed a smooth, wasteland-like landscape, starting at 100 minutes into SCP-1936-1 and extending up to 2 kilometers from the edge of SCP-1936-1. At this range, radio communication with UGV-1 became degraded and UGV-1 was returned to the SCP-1936-1's perimeter. Attempted Expedition Log 1936-2, Manned Ground Expedition. Procedure: 2D class were sent into SCP-1936-1 aboard UGV-2.5. UGV-2 was equipped with a higher wattage radio transceiver than that of UGV-1. D5-12 and D5-13 wore level A hazmat protective clothing and biotelemetry sensors during the expedition. Results: D5-12 and D5-13 were initially taken 1 kilometer from SCP-1936-1's boundary. D5-13 was ordered to suit. D-513 had been previously briefed on this and complied promptly. D5-13 reported no ill effects from exposure to SCP-1936-1. Medical telemetry showed D5-13 had slight difficulty breathing, similar to breathing smog. D5-12 and D5-13 continually reported flat featureless terrain while in SCP-1936-1. Unacceptable levels of radio interference began at 3 kilometers from SCP-1936-1's boundary and UGV-2 was returned to SCP-1936-1's edge. Medical examinations performed upon their return on D5-12 and D5-13 showed they had not been abnormally affected during the expedition. Attempted Expedition Log 1936-3, Armed Manned Ground Expedition. Forward. The following audio log is a transcription of an attempted expedition by Mechanized Infantry Platoon Kilo. The platoon was assigned 6 Piranha LAVV vehicles, with mounted environmental analysis equipment. Log begins 3 kilometers into SCP-1936-1. C and M, C, Kilo Actual, this is Mike. Requesting update on your status, over. Kilo Actual, Mike, this is Kilo Actual. We're still seeing the terrain as flat. SCP-1936-1 doesn't seem to have changed since we went in. Bravo Actual, Kilo Actual, this is Bravo Actual. We can see upwards incline ahead. Alpha Actual, this is Alpha Actual. We aren't seeing any incline. Checked your Mark 1s over there, Bravo? Bravo Actual, Alpha, we're going down the incline right now. Alpha Actual, yeah, we see it. Following you down. 6. Charlie Actual, Kilo Platoon, this is Charlie Actual. Anyone else seeing the sky out there? We're getting a lot of red and blue patterns. Seems to be screwing up the radio a bit. Unknown 1. Why holler FM lag ebum? Charlie Actual, C and M, C? I think we're getting a bit of interf. Unknown 2. They said, amen, may that heretic burn in the pit. As in, I fucking hate him so much, I hope he dies a slow painful death in a burning hole. At this point, two-way communication with the expedition team was lost, with C and M, C only able to receive messages. Sounds of a firefight and wildly varying descriptions of the attacking forces are heard. After approximately 30 minutes, the following message is received. Unknown 3, Blarg, I am SSVLSRR, the Shivering Mist. I am the NGHFT currently covering the town of Daleport. While traversing Miftagu, your men have been attacked. Some have become Enga, but the rest are in safe hands. Evil has been summoned to this town by a society of Lurg. The worst shall be contained within me by Volgman Tharanak, but the town and its people will not remain unaffected. A great battle shall rage and a victor must be decided. In time, those who can stop the FBI will be here in time and see the Lurg FM lag. Please do not send any more soldiers into me as I cannot keep them from the Shog. When all thread before the victors, I shall leave and the shug will be yours again. I hope you shall survive it. Wow. Closing statement. Unmanned observations continue to operate but were unable to reach the town of Daleport. No manned expeditions were sent into SCP-1936-1 prior to its dissipation. Materials 1936. A large number of documents were retrieved from SCP-1936. These are assumed to have been written by the town's previous inhabitants. Document recovered from laptop in a residence in the southeastern quadrant of SCP-1936.
Dear Diary, today Mr. Sticky's arm came out the closet instead of the window. It was even longer than ever, but it was still smoky when I touched it, so my hand hurts. Frown. I told Mr. Sticky I didn't want any of his gross food today and he got mad. He said it was vital to the inquisition of the lava. I'm really hungry, so I ate the gross food even though it was green and squirmy. I don't like Mr. Sticky that much.
The following phrase was found in multiple locations, predominantly in public toilets and stitched into the internal organs of mutated Daleport residents.
I am sorry I couldn't save you. That close.
Document recovered from a store in the southwestern quadrant of SCP-1936.
Running out of canned fruit, but I guess that's the least of my worries. There was some more god-awful screaming and shit out there tonight. Screaming started off human, think it was Lily from next door. Don't know what it sounded like by the end. Never heard anything that sounded like that. Thought I heard something trying to get in a while ago. It was Reverend Hashur walking past my window again. Still ranting about God knows what. Managed to get a glimpse of him through the window, wished I hadn't. He had too many spaces in him. Gotta leave, I think one of the big guys is coming this way. I can hear drums outside. I am the voice and the voice is me.